Welcome to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Things.
We're back, man. Episode 277.
Yes, sir.
Let's get right into it. Keke Palmer. We all know who she is, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, she had her ass out. Let's talk about it.
She showed her ass.
Yeah, she had her ass out like a... All right, let's talk about it. Keke Palmer's boyfriend doubles down amid backlash for criticizing her outfit. In quote, I have standards. Keke Palmer's boyfriend, Darius Jackson, is feeling the wrath of social media after he called out the Nope, it says Nope actress, that's just one movie she's been in, anyways, for her outfit of choice. Palmer, 29, attended Usher's Las Vegas residency on Wednesday wearing a black bodysuit under a sheer dress. In a video circulating on social media, Usher is seen serenading Palmer with his song, There Goes My Baby. As he sang, the duo hugged and swayed to the music. Palmer, a fellow singer, also had a brief turn at the mic. It's the outfit, though. You're a mom. Palmer's boyfriend and father of their son, Leotis. Is that his name? Damn, what a name. Commented on Twitter in response to the clip. Social media was quick to drag Jackson in the replies. Don't date a baddie if you're gonna be this insecure. One fan tweeted. Okay, that's a very It's a very simplistic statement.
I'm tired of them quoting tweets and fans in these like legit articles.
Yeah,
I was watching a video they were talking about like it was like some like conspiracy stuff, but they were like genuinely quoting just random niggas on Twitter. As if there's like some merit to what they have to say.
Beefy Cock 69 says.
That's I'm like, these just random niggas tweeting.
Yeah. Dirty Booty Jason 72 underscore stated that it was a mid.
It was so a mid. Yeah.
Yeah. No, man. In regards to this is a very nuanced situation. What I will say is this, okay? The way a man leads a relationship can be the problem with the whole thing. And I don't know what they got going on, but there's symptoms of men that don't properly lead relationships. And with that being said, this guy has a picture of himself with his shirt off and his underwear. And then there was another video of him taking a video of Keke Palmer's booty, and she was twerking her little cakes, right? And I'll be clear, I've said this a million times. Stop objectifying your wife or girlfriend, because now what you've done is you've made it okay for everybody to objectify her, right? And I've tried to say this and people don't really hear it, okay? Now, that's one situation. Also, I think when you see your girlfriend that is being serenaded by a guy that could really fuck her if he wanted to, that's going to bother you. That's going to make you emotional, right? But and that was the funny thing about it. And she was the one going for it. The freaking Usher was really professional, actually. He kind of kept that gap, and then she kind of moved in and kind of gave him the claw behind his neck and like pulled him close. And she had her legs open with her vagina facing his body. Like, that is what a woman does when they desire a man. This is a lot deeper than just a fan. Is like, some people was in the comments saying like, it was a celebrity crush. What's the big deal? The issue is
she's famous.
She's a celebrity herself, so she actually has access to a man like Usher. They could literally go in the backstage and fuck, right? The issue with her boyfriend was he should have kept that shit in house. So he should have waited till she got home and had the conversation, because now men never look good reacting like women. I hate to say it. If a woman was to react like that about her man doing something inappropriate, she would get support from social media. If a man was doing something or saying something inappropriate to a woman and his wife got on social media like 26 years of marriage and this is how you act on TV, oh man, it'd be fucking support everywhere. But when you're a man and you are in an emotional state and you write something like that, you will not get support.
Yeah.
You will not get support. Even men will be too afraid to support you.
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh my God, like, you know, and it'll be some men that do, and when they support you, then they gonna get chastised. So that's just the name of the game, man. You gotta keep that shit in house.
The one thing that I've noticed with, you know, the celebrity backlash or whatever you would call it, it's a lot of like, depending on how much an audience likes a certain person, that's the type of feedback they get, right?
100%.
So it's a lot of people supporting Keke Palmer, like, you know, she did nothing wrong, her outfit is okay, and all this other stuff. You know, to each his own. to each his own. That's up to them in their relationship, right? But one thing that I do see is like when Aisha Curry was taking off her ring and stuff like that, and joking or whatever, and that could have been a joke, whatever the case may be. But she doesn't, because people don't necessarily like Aisha Curry as much as they like Keke Palmer. It's more people coming to Keke Palmer's defense than there were coming to Aisha Curry's defense. And I'm not saying, what either one of them did is okay, but I'm just saying, like, I just see the tone, or I just see the, like what the conversation looks like when, somebody like Aisha Curry, who's just kind of like, she's like the celebrity wife, but we don't look at her as like we do like a Savannah James or something like that. She's just kind of like along for the ride in most people's point of view. But, in terms of this situation, I think that the biggest thing that I think about is like everybody's relationship is like they design it a certain way, right? So it's some people that, like we're not really going to get into it, but the whole Adam 22 and his wife and how he essentially let his wife do a scene with another porn star. That's something that they allowed in terms of their relationship. So it's not really anything you can say about that, right? But when it comes to this Keke Palmer situation, I think her boyfriend's name is like Darius Jackson or something.
Yeah.
He obviously doesn't like how she was doing all that, like how she was dancing on Usher. And then 2, he didn't like the outfit, right? So that's the end of the story. Like, there's a person in this relationship that doesn't like how his girlfriend and his baby moms is behaving. So like in terms of that, like that's the only thing, at least for me, that's the only thing that I'm leaning on. Like as a person in a relationship, he's communicating that he doesn't like the way she's moving. So there's really no reason to come to Keke Palmer's defense when the person inside of the relationship doesn't like what she's doing. So with that being said, like, in terms of that, like it is, a lot of these women have these conversations like you shouldn't tell a woman what to wear, what not to wear and stuff like that. But I think that we have to design a relationship. We can't speak in totalities in terms of like relationships because everything is different. There's people that have like relationships where they have open relationships. There's people that have relationships where they be posting they girl on the internet twerking and, they be posting, they be like, they let they girls have OnlyFans and like we know of some of these people. So everybody's relationship is different. But in terms of like what it seems like what he wants in a relationship, he seems to want a person that is wearing clothes and is not dancing on Usher inside of concerts. And like you were saying, it's not just like a fan, a random fan, singing with Usher.
Right.
This is like, there's accessibility. Like she said, like they mentioned in the article, she's in big budget movies and she's a talk show host and all this other stuff. Like she has access to these people. And, the way that she was, even before there's a video before where she's just kind of looking like, she just looking available, dog.
Yeah, it's
like
too available.
She just looking like, man, I'm trying to get chose tonight. And I was telling Eddie before, the thing that we don't see, we only see this inside of the concert, right? And then we see his tweets, and that's all the context we have. Yeah. But we don't know what the prequel was to her going out. Sometimes people, I'm not going to say just women, but sometimes people, they will do, like I've seen people get into an argument and then they start acting real single all of a sudden. They start posting weird stuff on social media. They start posting pictures with their shirt off. They start having these thirsty, posting pictures with their cleavage out and stuff like that. And that's just off of an argument. So I'm saying some of this energy might be like, hey, I'm in the house, so we go back and forth a little bit. We get into an argument. Man, you tripping. I'm about to go to this Usher concert. And she might have had a regular dress on, might have been a little bit short, but all of a sudden she said, nope, I'm about to put this on. And then she wore the booty out and she got drunk a little bit and she was drinking her tequila or whatever she was drinking. And she went out to have a good time, like in spite of that conversation that they had back at the house. And then all he left to do was just tweet from his phone.
Yeah, I think this all stems from people not practicing monogamy. I think that when you're single for so long, you start to have these behaviors that you drag into relationships. So if you was the person that was a free spirit, you in everybody's face, you doing all this sexual stuff, you half naked all the time, when you get into a relationship, now you're going to think that those things should still be in there. Now, I will say this. I think that as a man, when you get with a woman, you need to be able to delineate whether you're going to be with her or not. And you need to look at it from the very beginning. Because if her titty's hanging out when you meet her, you can't change that.
That's true.
I'm just telling you right now, if her titties is out, let her have her titties out and you go somewhere else. I don't think men should ever tell women what to wear, but I think women need to be able to have an idea of what's respectable towards their relationships. If your nipples is out through your shirt, if your butt cheeks is out, you look fucking available. How is looking available beneficial to your relationship? It's not. So I'm just keeping it 100. There are too many women that are like literally saying like, you better work it, girl. You better do your thing. You need to stop validating these women that are doing inappropriate shit. Because as a man, if somebody's doing something inappropriate, I'm not going to say, I don't see the big deal. I don't see the big deal. He's not doing anything wrong. He was just trying to get her phone number as a friend. Like, no.
Do you think there's like a celebrity element to it? Like, you know, it's like there's a certain, you know, they be having like, what you call it? Like, not costume designers, but people that put their clothes, I don't know that I can't think of the job title right now, but a person that put their clothes together and stuff. Like, do you think there's a celebrity element to it where it's like, you know, we might not be able to relate to the fashion aspect of it to it because we're normal people?
No, I don't think it is at all. I've seen married women with their titties hanging out all the time, especially when I was a regular club goer. Seen a couple chicks like, hey, how you guys doing tonight? What you guys get into? Whatever the case. And like, oh, we're married. And I'm thinking like, y'all don't look married at all. I'm not saying that a woman should be dressed like a fucking nun. But if your butt cheeks is out and your nipples is showing, that's super inappropriate. I don't give a fuck. You know why a lot of marriages lasted back in the day? Because two people came together and understood what was appropriate for that relationship. You understood that as a man, you shouldn't be in every woman's face. And women understood that they should not be looking available out in the world. I think that now, too, attention is almost like the air we breathe. We've normalized still receiving the attention like a single woman while being married. That's fucking backwards. That's backwards. You know what I should never be able to say, Keith? I should never be able to turn on the TV and see Keke Palmer turn around and be like, damn,
she got a fat
Keke
ass.
got a fat ass. I should
Yeah,
not be
that's
able to
wild.
say that.
Yeah.
I should not be able to say that because if you respect the person you're with, you don't fucking do that. Now, now hold on. If he was okay with it, if he was cool with it, and it was literally something they had going on, then ain't nothing I could say.
That's my.
Ain't nothing I could say. Yeah. But when somebody is upset, you shouldn't be like, well, you shouldn't be, if you can't date a baddie or you can't handle this. That's just bullshit. Lady, I'm going to tell I got to say this too. I think that a lot of times, and this is unfortunate, I don't think women get the truth enough. I think that as men, especially when you're dating, you tend to not want to cock block yourself and say the wrong thing. So you don't tend to challenge women. And then also when you get in a relationship, you don't want to say certain stuff. Like I could tell my friend of 23 years, right? I could tell him, man, you got to get in the gym, man. You got to lose some weight. You cannot talk to women like that. And then also women don't get the truth from their own friends, because what happens is a woman could do something completely ignorant and their friends are like, oh my God, like, well, I guess he just wasn't for you. The dude could be a good dude. She could be flirting and the dude get mad and leave her for her doing something wrong. But the girl would be like, well, he just wasn't right for you, girl. Just keep doing your thing. So I notice a lot of times women don't even have that clear line of communication with their friends. But then I've had women pillow talk to me like, yeah, my friends are cheating on their husbands. It's just ridiculous. And I'm thinking like, have you talked to them about this?
Nah.
So what happens is when you see women with their butt cheeks out, they're not enough other women holding that woman accountable.
Yeah. And
if it's just like if we see a dude not taking care of his kids, we shouldn't be like, hey, what's up, my G? Nah, nigga, you need to take care of your kids. What are you doing out at the club and you ain't paid child support in 5 years?
Yeah.
We need more people like us to hold us accountable. And I just see too many women basically saying, It's her body. She could do what she wants to do. And it's like, look here, man, nobody's trying to control your body. I don't think men should even tell you what to wear. But it shouldn't even be a conversation. It shouldn't be a conversation. I think a lot of women are very intentional when they go out to clubs or they go out to places. They're aware of what they're wearing. They know that, hey, if I go out and wear this, my titty's going to bust out. I already know it because I got huge tits. Mm-hmm. So I know that when I go out, I really can't wear this because I can't keep my titties in.
Yeah.
Right? They know that.
Yeah.
So when they do stuff like this, it's intentional and it's not right.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned before, his fault is he fucking went on the internet. You don't do that, bro. You don't talk about your lady, even if she's doing something dumb. You need to talk to her in private. You don't put her on blast. And then as a man, it makes you look weak.
I think it does make him look weak, but I also this is all speculative. I don't know these niggas from anybody else, but I would imagine that was his last cry of hope or something like that. You know what I mean? Because if you, I'm sure they live together, and I'm sure there's that whatever that attire is hanging up in the house somewhere, right? Mm-hmm. So I almost guarantee that there was some kind of conversation before, but it was all, it might have been that pushback or, her saying like you shouldn't control what women wear or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. So I think for him, that was his last cry of like, trying to get somebody to affirm his belief or. Man,
these are two young people just trying to figure it out. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah,
and I think that it's complete ignorant, and it's also ignorant because Keke Palmer posted a video after that, like some little song like if he gonna act up, I'm about to link up, whatever, right? And I'm thinking like this is what like older people. They didn't have all these social media outlets to get on social media and get an audience when they had an argument. Everything should be in-house. There should never be a situation where, first of all, if they're when she went to that Usher show and she wore that was intentional, brother.
Yeah. It's also the seat. The seat that she was sitting in is like it's accessible, right? Mm-hmm. And he does this every show where people that have certain seats, he goes up and he may grab the woman by the hand and he's singing to her. And I think, there's a version of that could have gone much cleaner. Mm-hmm. And I think that as a man, I would say, like 90% and 95% of the men in America would just be like, dang, that is Usher. And that nigga Usher got he got a rap sheet and he is like, the R&B singer, the phenom, whatever the case may be. And you would be a little bit jealous, but you wouldn't be like angry at the way it was like performed in a sense. Right. But I think that, it's always Usher. That's the insecurity that the man gonna have. Mm-hmm. If it's Usher or the Trey Songz's or Omarion's or Chris Brown's, like as men, of a certain age, we're gonna be like, dang, like these is the guys that girls was having like the posters on the wall and the B2Ks and stuff like that. I can remember like as a kid, like, B2K was the biggest thing. Like the girls was in love with Omarion, right? So these type of niggas, like we already gonna have those type of insecurities already. But I think that, like I said, that there was a version of this that could have went like I'm gonna say more professional, because I think Usher was professional, but just more appropriate, right? And like if you look at it was around the same time, but Saweetie was also at a concert, and allegedly she's dating YG. And when you look at the way that situation went, he's just singing to her. She not grinding on him. She just kind of vibing. He's singing to her, and she say a couple words here and there, and then that was just like that was the extent of it, right? And but Keke Palmer, she like dancing on him, grinding on him. She turning around,
was drinking,
showing
right?
her. She was sipping a little bit. You could tell she was a little tipsy.
Alcohol can tell a very sobering truth about a person. Mm-hmm. Right. So like if somebody gets drunk and they start talking and saying all kind of stuff, I listen, because sometimes that stuff is in the back of your subconscious and it kind of comes to the front. Yeah. So like the thing about it too is women will love their husband, boyfriend, whatever, but they have men they desire. This is what a lot of men need to understand. So, for example, if you ever sitting around minding your business or whatever, and your wife loves you, by the way, but then Michael B. Jordan comes across the screen, and she's like, oh, my fucking God, he has his shirt off again, right? And you just like, what the fuck? What? And women do this all the time. Like, women will just literally blurt out who they have a crush on or who they find attractive. And then when they finally make it to the concert or movie or event where this same person is at, you get to see them in action and see how they act.
That's the cold part about it, though. Like, me and you, we are regular people, not in a demeaning way. Like, we're not celebrities, right?
Right.
So when we think about these situations, it can only be hypothetical.
100%.
You know, like when you think about it, like you said, you go out to the movies with your girl and you seeing Michael B. Jordan with his shirt off, or you seeing The Rock with his shirt off, or whatever, superstar with his shirt off. And it's all like just conversation's sake. But, when you get into a situation where you start to have access to these people, then it starts to be different. Like, we were just watching the video earlier. There's a producer on the show Boondocks, and he was telling this story about there's an episode where the girl leaves the guy for Usher, and it's a whole situation. But he was saying that story was based off of real life because he was having an argument with his girl about the R. Kelly. Yeah, well, at the time it was his wife. Having an argument with his wife about the R. Kelly episode, and then the nigga Usher just walks in, and he said that his wife went from being angry at the R. Kelly episode to all of a sudden being just smiling and being joyful and trying to get Usher's attention and waving at him and stuff like that. And he said he just turned around, and the next thing you know, she's standing next to Usher
at his table.
Yeah, at Usher's table. And then all of a sudden she talking to him, and then she invited everybody over, like Aaron Magruder, his wife, and then the guy, the producer, and they all get invited over. So she's the ex-wife. She's introducing everybody. Hey, this is Aaron Magruder. This is blah blah blah. He work on Boondocks. This is such and such. This is his wife. And then this is, she was supposed to say my husband, but she ended up introducing him by name. Like, didn't even acknowledge that was her husband. So that's like, I say that to say, like, when we watching Creed on TV, everything is cool because it's just TV. Like, you could feel some type of way, but we not communicating with Michael B. Jordan. But when the nigga Usher walked through the restaurant and you got to deal with that, that's a whole different ballgame.
I think there needs to be more of a clear line of respect too, because even though I understand you don't have access to Michael B. Jordan or Usher, whoever, at the same time, men cannot do that to women. They can't be like, God, I want to fuck Pamela Anderson. Oh my God, look at her tits. That like, you can't do that because women are not built like that. They'll be pissed. Like, why the fuck would you say that? That's so dumb. They don't rationalize it as, a respectful thing. Now, let's be clear. As men, we need to understand that we're not the only man that our wife or girlfriend is attracted to. That's a fact. That's a fucking fact. There are tons of men out there that look better than you, that your girlfriend or your wife is attracted to. Get over it. Okay? Even if I was in a store or somewhere and I seen my girl glance at some dude and keep moving and the dude was handsome, I'm not even going to bring it up because I know the dude is handsome. She's seen him. Get over it and move on. Right? If she's staring and gawking at the guy, now you got a fucking problem. Right? But that's just the reality of it. But then imagine seeing your girl with her ass out, and it's a fat ass, and she's hugged up on Usher, a man that can fuck your girl. Yeah. If he wanted to, they could go in the backstage. The energy she was giving him was very sexual.
That nigga Usher. Usher the GOAT.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything. And think about it too. Usher is the type of dude that has aged very gracefully. Dude is like 45, right? But he looked like he about 32.
Nigga look my age.
Nigga got abs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Handsome dude. Like, it don't make you gay to notice a man is handsome, right?
Nigga skating across stage. Yeah. His vocals still sound good. Usually niggas be all cracked out and stuff.
And he can still dance his ass off.
Yeah.
So this dude could dance his way into my girl's pants.
Yeah.
And I got a front row seat to watching this. And the thing about it too is when I think a lot of women don't realize it, but you kind of, at some point, you kind of low key want your man to be a cuck, and that ain't it. Like I shouldn't be in a position where you're saying like I can do what I want, I can wear what I want, and it doesn't matter. And I'm supposed to watch all these dudes admiring you like you're a single woman, but you are my wife. That is fucking backwards. And there's too many women that do that in today's society. It needs to fucking stop. Yeah. But if, like I said, if your man's okay with that and that's how y'all is, that's fine.
That's added. I mean, we don't even, But let's
I'm drawing my line in the sand on this one. As a man, when you drive a hard bargain and you basically have let that be known, like, hey, I'm not with that. I'm not trying to tell you what to wear, what to do, but I'm leaving it in your hands. All I can ask you to do is be respectful of this relationship. That's all you can say. Look, all I can ask you is to be respectful of this relationship. I'm not ever going to tell you what to wear. You should know that as a grown woman. You should know that. And it does not make me insecure as a man. That I don't want you out here half naked because I understand what type of attention that brings. And that is a misrepresentation of me as a man. You would not like if I was out doing something comparable and misrepresenting you or either cheating on you or trying to get numbers behind your back. That would be a misrepresentation of my lady. So I'm a play what I need to do. But I gave an example a long time ago and you was busting up. And this does happen. Imagine if you're a dude that's pretty well endowed, right? And you try to go to the gym and you got some gray sweatshorts on and your wife is like, you need to come back and change those shorts, right? And you don't think of it anything past, I'm just going to the gym. But she could see your print in your pants real bad and then she tell you to change your pants. I would just change the pants, bro. Because it's making my girl uncomfortable and I'd rather just change the sweats than put up a fight about wearing gray sweatshorts. If she doesn't want me to wear those to the gym, I'm just going to change them.
That's facts, yeah. But I will say it's hard to even make a comparison because we don't generally how men dress is not we don't have a comparable to that. As far as men, like we only have our appendage below the waist, right? Women have like it's like their clothes are like just much more sexualized.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? They got the titties, they got the booty, all that other stuff. Like and just in terms of the dresses and stuff they wear, there's like a very appropriate version of it, and then there's a version of it where it's just OD. Right. But I think that one of the conversations too, to kind of change it a little bit, is about him as him being like a nobody or like just that stay-at-home dad,
calling him broke.
Yeah, and I will say I don't know what he does for a living and how their relationship is set up, but I will say that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with like the control in their relationship because there are situations where you'll see you got guys like Trey Songz, his name is Mr. Steal Your Girl. You Crazy. Got situations where DJ Drama is like talking about how he got his girl stole from him by Drake and all this other stuff. So I mean, obviously there's a hierarchy when it comes to like there's Drakes and then there's other artists, right?
Oh yeah.
But even with that, I just say that to say like it doesn't, if a woman wants to choose, it don't matter if you're a millionaire 100%. Or the guy that is a backup, an extra in the movies or whatever. Like, it's just the type of woman that that is. So it has nothing really to do with the man.
Yeah, yeah. I just think that it's sometimes that when. And how do I put this? When a woman is a fan of someone that happens to be a mega star, that is almost like this mythical man on television.
Yeah.
Whether it's a Harry Styles or The Rock or Michael B. Jordan or whoever it is. I don't know if that would really give her the license to go crazy and be grinding all over him and everything because you still represent me.
Yeah.
Right? You still represent me. And the reason why that stands up is the baby. This girl that went to the baby concert, he came over and just tried to kiss her. And she pushed him off like, nigga, get up off of me. I got a man. Right? And then he was like, oh, shit. because the baby is so used to getting what he wants. If he knows in his mind, he doesn't think that if he kisses a woman that they gonna push him away. Mm-hmm. Like he knows he could kiss a lot of women and they're not gonna hold him back. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But she pushed him back, and then I think we talked about that on the podcast, and I was like, man, shout out to her. Mm-hmm. Like her man should actually feel pretty like with that situation, bro. If you haven't thought about putting a ring on it, you might want to.
But that's even more commendable, because I would say that there's a lot of. Never mind. I'm not even gonna go there. My bad. Yeah, I don't want to say nothing. That is,
You're wasting people's time, Keith.
Hey, as long as I ain't getting canceled in 10 years, I'll waste everybody's time.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I just think people need to be more cognizant of what kind of. I think men need to be cognizant of how they're leading the relationship. Yeah. For one, because if there's any inadequacies or inconsistencies, women are just gonna do what they want. Like if you are a dude with your t-shirt off and you in your drawers like her man was, mm-hmm. and then you got another video with her booty shaking it, mm-hmm. what is Keke Palmer supposed to think? Is she supposed to be like, oh, I still need to be respectful? Or, I mean, he objectified me and put it on social media.
Yeah,
and he also objectified himself with his t-shirt off. These are very single things that people are doing. Like,
wait, so did he do that inside of their relationship?
Yeah,
the whole shirt off.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, okay.
He had his shirt off. Okay. So the thing about it is, bro, mm-hmm. you have to be aware of how you're presenting yourself as a man in a relationship. Because
the thing is, though, like as men, I think he's a terrible communicator. 100%. Right? Like I think also he don't really know how he felt about the situation. He probably was just emotional and he just tweeted some stuff out.
Yeah.
But I think that he kind of lost it when you articulate something in a tweet where it's like it's holes in your story.
Yeah, it's too many holes, man.
It's like, nigga, you did the same thing like however many months ago. Yeah. You got your shirt off and she doing this. Yeah. And, so
I think when you're a man that drives a hard bargain and you're consistent and you have integrity and you're respectful and you respect your lady and you know what I'm saying, you don't make her look foolish and she go out and do that to you, nigga, you don't gotta say nothing, because when she get back to the house, she knows she fucked up.
Yeah.
She knows she fucked up when she get back to the house. Yeah. I've heard women say, and they don't mean this literally, like physically, but they'll be like, I ain't wearing that. My husband will kill me. I've heard women say that. They don't mean that literally like he'll beat me. They mean like, yo, I got respect for my dude. I'm not gonna put that shit on. Or you ever been talking to a dude like, hey man, I gotta go, man. My wife will be pissed off. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, it's not just respect your relationship.
Thank you. It's not because you scared of your wife and she controlling you. Nigga, you married. You need to get your ass home. You can't be out till fucking 2 a.m.
Yeah,
that's the reality of being married.
I've heard pretty happy marriages and dudes they be joking around, but they be like, yeah, I'm at I'm on probation tonight, or I got out of jail tonight, or I just got out, or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Just basically saying like, joking about their marriage being a prison in a sense, but but not in like a negative way, but just joking. Mm-hmm. So that's that. But that just shows that they respect their relationship.
100%. So, yeah. There's certain times. I mean, if it's not a leap and a jump, if a woman asks you to do something and it's not going against your morals and going against your integrity, just fucking do it.
Yeah,
it ain't that deep, man.
But I do think, like you were saying earlier, I think it's important to have those conversations, and and it seems like I said, we don't know what happened right before. We just know, the concert and the tweets, but it's important to have those conversations and to understand and to understand your partner in a sense. So there are women that's just the nature of what they do. They not gonna wear no bra, they not gonna do this, or they're not gonna do that. They gonna wear, some of the skimpy clothes, and they've done it before you were there, and they not gonna change because of you. And sometimes you just got to be okay with that if that's the person you choose to be with.
You don't have to be okay with it.
But I'm saying, like, if you get into that relationship, you can't change that person.
Exactly. That's what I mean. But you don't have to be okay with it because you need to walk away. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Don't get involved. If a woman, first of all, what you should never want to do is try to change what a woman is doing. Because now you asking her to sacrifice her who she really is for you, and you never want to do that. If she want to be out there with a see-through shirt on with her titties out, she should be able to do that. Okay? And if you get in a relationship with her, you need to be okay with her titties being out. Bottom line. Yeah. That's just how it goes, buddy. That's how it goes. But if you drive a hard bargain, you could say, man, I like this chick so much. She's really smart. She's funny. She's great. But it ain't for me.
Yeah, I remember I was talking to this girl, and she was kind of like, she had a social media where it was a little bit of like, not, yeah, kind of stuff like that, like kind of like stuff like Keke Palmer was wearing on her profile. And you talk on the individual basis, a person is like really cool. But then I remember you said something. You was like, man, you kind of dodged a bullet with that one. And then I was like, nah, I don't know. Like, who, because in your mind, you think you can change the person.
Yeah,
like you
that's
think,
not how it works.
You think when you start to get in a relationship with the person, they're going to put more clothes on. But that's just going to be an argument. So, I thought about it, a little bit later after you said that. And I was like, yeah, that's actually right. Because you just want somebody that, not that that's wrong, but, in terms of what I desire, that's not. I don't really want my girl like all on the internet with her booty out and stuff like that.
I've met women and was like, oh man, she's pretty cool. She's really awesome. And then you go to the social media, not on some stalking shit, but you just kind of want to get a tone. Social media doesn't tell a full story, but you get a tone of who a person is. And then if every other picture is like just my gains, or I'm getting gains now, and this is always an ass picture in there, or something suggestive like a sexual type pose all the time. Instead of judging women and saying like, oh man, you doing this and that, you should reach a maturity level where you say, hey, that ain't for me. That just ain't for me. I know that if that's going on, that's not going to change. And then here's the thing.
Yeah.
People can weaponize that against you, because let's say, for example, you get with a chick that used to always have a body out, and then they stop doing that because of you, and they care about you, but then you get in an argument. All of a sudden, she posting pictures of herself on the internet, titties all hanging out, and now you text her like, hey, what's that about? And now she ain't returning your text messages, and there's a bunch of games going on. Bro, don't do it.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. Just leave her alone.
So is this, and we've kind of been on it for a minute, so I think it might be time to move on.
Yeah,
but do you think that what Keke Palmer did is like grounds for breaking up?
100%. 100% though. But here's the thing is, they might need to just figure it out, because they're two young people that are immature as fuck. And I think that they never set boundaries, and they obviously didn't set any boundaries. And this is like a new element in their relationship. 100%. So they probably could work it out. Right. But if it was just blatant disrespect out of left field, that's 100% grounds to break up.
Yeah, I would say, I think that it's salvageable too, just because like if you're the guy, right, and you think about like your role in that relationship is, and I don't know his financial state or what he does, but he's not a celebrity. He's a guy that's kind of been under the radar until the baby came around. So if you that guy, and people are deeming you as a stay-at-home dad and stuff like that, and your wife is the breadwinner, I think that it takes a lot, for a person like Keke Palmer to date somebody that she's more successful than. Yeah. So I think that, that even, kind of that being the basis of your relationship, this should be something that y'all could work out, because you've already worked out probably the most, difficult part of your relationship.
Yeah. I just think that from his vantage point, when you're a guy you're pretty much a regular dude, I don't know what he does. Maybe he does something. I have no idea. Yeah. But Keke Palmer is a well-established woman in the industry. And when you're that guy, right, when you're just a regular dude, you don't really got a big, rap sheet of what you've done. And then you see a man that's a polar opposite of you. That can really trigger something inside of a man, right?
What you mean?
Look, when you're a guy that's a regular dude, and you see your girl going crazy over a man who is a polar opposite of you, and there's nothing you could do, you can't stop him from fucking her if he wanted to. You can't.
Yeah.
That's got to do something to a man's ego, and it's got to do something. But ultimately, if Keke left him, then it would be over the tweets, because that just proved that he's not mature enough.
Yeah, it's almost like they are both. This is why they need to stay together, because they are both they're both dealing with the most difficult part of their relationship, right? Mm-hmm. He's dealing with the fact that his girl is famous and she has access to, she can sit front row at Usher concert. She can, sit front row at the Boston Celtics game where this nigga Jason Tatum scoring 50 points and he high-fiving her on the sideline. You know what I mean? That's just a scenario, but I'm saying that's just like the world that he has to deal with. And then on her end, she has to manage the fact that she can't just do any and everything, because she is in a relationship 100%. And she's also, that she got a child with this man. So, 100%. She has to be able to turn that into an appropriate version, like still be your celebrity outgoing self, but an appropriate version of that to not disrespect your relationship.
100%. And and it's not Keke Palmer's fault that she's sexually attractive. That's not her fault.
Yeah.
And the men that she's...
That's genetics.
That's just genetics.
That's cheeky like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then freaking, when she goes to an NBA game or something, those guys would date Keke Palmer.
Yeah.
So you have to get over that. You have to be okay with that. If you're not, you got to let it go, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, Childish Gambino said it a long time ago. He said, I'm trying to turn these Keke Palmers into baby mamas.
And you
said that was like 10 years ago?
Yeah. That was like about a decade ago he said that.
That song Silk Pillow.
It came to fruition, and now, there it is. But yeah, I think we've beaten this topic down quite long enough. It's been at least 35 minutes.
Yeah, now Usher about to beat it down.
Oh, man. Usher gonna be like, you got it back. When you're on the phone, hang up and you call right back. Then this nigga, her band gonna be tweeting like, yeah, Usher smashing my wife. Man. This is crazy.
I'm throwing his confessions away.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. I ain't never listened to Usher again. This is gonna be a bunch of just angry tweets. Fuck Usher. Oh man.
God dang. That nigga Usher so cold. He don't ever say nothing.
No, he didn't do, Usher really didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, he don't gotta say. I'm just saying, like, situations happen. Like, nigga, you breaking up a whole, they could be engaged. Who knows what their relationship will look like. And this nigga done broke it all up, all because he just sang to the girl.
Let me tell you how cold Usher is. Usher is so cold that he beat herpes allegations.
Dang.
For the longest, they said that this nigga had herpes.
Yeah.
And he just walked in like, you got it bad.
That nigga just like,
he just started doing it. He just started busting out a dance. And everybody forgot about the herpes allegations.
Yeah. That nigga even had a song called Let It Burn, and he still beat the herpes allegations.
Let it burn. Oh, man. Can you imagine a reporter?
Deep down, it's bad. Oh, this flies back.
I don't know whether it's a gnat or whatever it is. That's crazy. Can you imagine a reporter like being very blunt, like a TMZ reporter, like, Usher, is it true you got bumps on your dick? Is it true you have herpes? And he's like, you got it bad. When you're on the phone.
When you're at the doctor. Late night and you call right back.
I got bumps and you call right back. He just singing, you forget about the herpes. Fucking crazy.
That's funny, man.
I'm telling you, I've never seen a person beat herpes allegations.
Yeah.
And there was a couple people saying like, Usher gave me herpes.
Yeah. And I pray that that's not true. I'm not praying for it. I take that back. I hope it's not true. But that is kind of funny.
The last time it's like, Usher gave me herpes, this ain't right. And he was like, Daddy's home. Home for me. And I know you've been waiting on these herpes all day.
You know what's crazy? That nigga had a song called I Wanna Make Love in This Club.
Oh, man.
In this club. And that could have been the one. That could have been the time.
Yeah. Nah, he got herpes in this club. That's what happened.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
That song was huge. That came out in like 2009.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
he had that song. He had like the little EDM era. He had that song. Oh my gosh, I like that song. Oh my gosh.
That's why everybody wants to fuck Usher.
Why?
Because it's music, man. If you were a chick,
that nigga got slaps.
If you were a chick, you can't tell me you wouldn't fuck Usher.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Come on, man.
The only way you have to, there's not really a way to test it, But you just got to take your girl to a concert, man. Just to see the vibe. Take a girl to one of these, these R&B, these classic acts, and just see how she react. When that nigga Usher come on stage or when he start taking his shirt off.
I think the difference too, though, is the average. I won't say average, but if just a regular woman in just a small town that's very beautiful, that's very attractive, she can get the attention of a guy like Usher.
For sure.
But that's how it works. A woman's beauty will get her into places that a man could never go. Yeah. That's just how it works.
I know how these artists, just me working on music videos and stuff like that. Oh, yeah. Like, it essentially goes like, the whole groupie is a real thing. When they go on tour, these artists essentially get whatever they want. They could be performing, and then they got their eye on somebody right here in the 100 level in the section over here. Oh, yeah. And then afterwards, they send their assistant over there to be like, hey, like bring such and such backstage. And then they go over there, they handle it. And and she just a regular person. Yeah. That's usually how it works. So
some of those videos from the 90s, those extras with those beautiful women, they were just like regular girls, but they were just super hot. And they were like, hey, we want you to be in a video. They're like, oh my God, I'll be in your video. And it's just these beautiful women. Yeah. That all they needed to do was be beautiful. Yeah. And you could be the most accomplished man, and they probably took you tons of work to get in that space. Yeah. And then a girl that's 21 that has not done anything but be beautiful will be sitting right next to you.
She work at Starbucks in Bakersfield.
She'll go from Starbucks to Starfucks. Let's switch gears, man. Switching gears. Yeah. Man loses part of his hand in LA fireworks explosion. See, you know what? Some of you guys are like, oh, wow, that person blew up their hand. That ain't going to be me. Now look at you. Handless. Okay?
Yeah, man. It's crazy.
Ridiculous. Man loses part of his hand in fireworks explosion. Where the fuck is the goddamn? Come on. I clicked on the link and it's just nothing there. There was a video. Come on. See this article, man. It just deleted all the fucking. Come on, buddy.
Yeah, just when you thought you had it right.
Just when you thought you had it right, goddammit. Here we fucking go. Let me click on it again. Publish. Thanks for reading. There's no. Oh, you got to be a subscriber. But I just seen the article, man.
Yeah, I think they time you out. So like if you've been on a website for certain amount of minutes or something.
Wow.
I think they'll do that.
What I'm going to do is take their headline and put it back in the search. I can't believe they did that to me. Yeah. You know what? I don't want to subscribe to a little
LA Times, it'd be like, they be trying to get it like $1 out of you a month. It's like $1 a month or something.
Yeah, it's like, dude, no. Yeah. I don't want your subscription service.
Yeah, just sell me ads.
Huh. Well, KTLA has the same the same story, so I'll just read that, okay? Man loses part of hand. House catches on fire. July 4th fireworks mishaps in Los Angeles. A man lost part of his hand, and a house caught fire Tuesday night as illegal fireworks were set off across Los Angeles. Emergency crews were called to Catalina Street in the Adams Normandy neighborhood of South Los Angeles. Yeah, that's not the greatest area. Witness reported a possible amputation as a man was lighting fireworks in the intersection. Crews arrived to find one person injured who apparently lost parts of his right hand. Video showed the victim covering the remains of his hand with a towel as emergency crews worked on him. A young man lost part of his right hand in a fireworks incident. Mortar tubes were seen in the street following the incident. Witness said. About 2 hours earlier, the Los Angeles Fire Department was called to a house fire in South Los Angeles. Video showed the roof of the home burning as residents were being evacuated. The fire was believed to be caused by a stray firework, but that is still under investigations. Explosions could be heard going off in the neighborhood, even as emergency crews responded. So these niggas are so bold, they kept lighting fireworks with them right there. Hey, enough with the fucking fireworks, man. Put them out, goddammit.
You know what? I was thinking like they should start offering rewards for snitching on people with fireworks. Yeah. Cash out, boy.
Yeah, I'll just be driving around. Hey, that's nice fireworks. Where'd you get that, man? I'm trying to get some. Yeah. Oh, I got this illegal. Oh, okay. call the police right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I'm pulling up to your house. I'm taking a picture of your address, all that good stuff.
I'm like, oh, that's dope, bro. Hey, what's your first and last name?
Yeah.
Got your ass. Yeah, you know what, dude? Every year proves how dumb people are, man. I really think that it's important. Fireworks safety to me ultimately is being a safe distance from the firework or just not having fireworks at all. It's just there's too much property damage. There's a house. There's like a car down the street from my house that's completely burnt up. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it, man. And it's also bad for the fucking environment. All that smoke in the air, it's not good. And I don't want to, sound like a, Debbie Downer, but that shit is unnecessary. We're just lighting, and motherfuckers are still lighting fireworks. Why is it that, especially in Bakersfield, motherfuckers light fireworks over a month before the 4th?
We just heard one.
Is that it right there?
I don't know if that might have been a train, but like before we started, it was something that went off.
What I don't like is the disrespectful firework people. You're lighting off fireworks at like fucking 2 a.m. Like, what the fuck is... People got to go to work, man.
Yeah, on the 5th, for sure.
God damn, dude. Like, chill. And then you got people that some people literally start shooting on the 4th of July.
Yeah, nigga, that's not a firework. That's a firearm.
Yeah. You'll hear like... Like this nigga got an M16 on fucking 4th of July. What the fuck are you doing?
Tony Montana weapon.
Yeah, you got fucking dogs running around everywhere scared. Dogs go crazy during the 4th, man.
Yeah. It's super uncomfortable.
It was a dog on the 4th of July like some years ago. It probably had to be at least like maybe 6 years ago. It was fireworks going everywhere. And I heard a dog that had ran like kind of by like the corner of my apartment at the time. And I just heard like a and the dog was like, I was like, what the fuck is that noise? And I looked out, it was a dog like underneath the thing. And I was like, come out here, buddy. Come here, buddy. And I got him some snacks and I was just chilling with this dog. I had no idea whose dog it was. It was somebody's dog. But I just chilled out there.
Did you feed him hot dogs?
I didn't have hot dogs. I fed him something else.
Yeah, okay.
But we was just sitting there chilling. I was chilling with the dog. The dog was fucking frightened. Like the dog, like when I pet the dog, it was like shaking. It was shaking so bad, and then I calmed him down. But the fireworks had that dog on 10. He was like looking around. Like,
yeah.
That
like
dog was
crackhead, huh?
That dog was looking around like his baby mama was looking.
Stupid.
Oh man.
But no, I think I actually I'm a fan. I'm a low key fan of fireworks, especially the illegal ones is not illegal everywhere, so we have to add more context to it. The one in California, you can't light the ones that explode all in the air and go all over. And I think, I don't know for sure, but I always heard that it was because of the dryness out here and that's just in terms of like the wildfires. It's very unsafe. But so in terms of like me, I actually like it, but this is the first year in probably my whole life where I was like really on edge with the fireworks. And like what happened was, I'm at my girl's parents' house and it's just us. We're sitting in the front yard and my girl's dad, y'all might have seen him on the podcast last week. Yeah. He just got he got the basic stuff, right? Like he got to go to the Phantom fireworks stand and he buying, the nicest of those type of fireworks. He don't got the ones from Arizona and Nevada and Las Vegas and stuff like that.
Nuts.
Yeah, he don't got that stuff, right? So he's lighting those stuff, those regular ones. But the people in the neighborhood are going crazy. So for me, it started out like everything was smooth, like everybody lighting their fireworks and they going up in the air and everything just exploding and everything is like it's looking really cool. But somewhere along the line, it was a firework that went up, and I would imagine like if I were to guess the big ones, like the normal height, they probably go up that, huh?
I said pause, bro.
Oh, yeah. So the normal ones probably go up like 70, 80 feet, right? They go up in the air and they explode, and then you might smell the smoke or you might see the remnants of the smoke linger. But what was happening was one went up like it had to only go up like 30, 40 feet, and it exploded like just how it would if like the other normal ones. but it was super low. And I was like, yo, that's kind of low for like a firework. And then what was happening is the debris started to hit us. Like it was like little flakes. So it almost like somebody threw a bunch of sand at us. It was starting to hit us like underneath this tree on the front yard. And I was like, yo, this don't feel right. And then more and more weird stuff started to happen. So one dude across the street lit one, and it was low. Like it probably went up maybe like 3 or 4 feet, and then it exploded out like that. Luckily, it didn't hit nobody, but it still exploded. I was like, dog, that's a dud. Like it shouldn't be. It's supposed to be way in the air. This one only on the ground. And I was like, oh, this is just starting to get real weird.
Yeah.
And then the straw that broke the camel's back for me, where I was like, man, I low key want to go in the house, is somebody lit a firework, and then normally all of it just explodes and evaporates, and it is just kind of like lingering in the air. Just it turns into smoke or whatever. But what was happening was pieces of the firework or the tube or whatever was in the thing. It was just falling from the sky. So it was probably like the size of a 50-cent piece. It just hit me on my leg, and it felt like somebody threw something at me. And I was like, yo, this is like the stuff is supposed to explode, but like it's pieces of firework falling from the sky.
Racist fireworks.
Yeah. So I was like, this year this year has been the most, at least for me, the most unsafe year as far as like how I was feeling. And then I opened up my freaking Facebook page, and then one of my guys I went to high school with, his eye split in half from a firework. And that's when I was like, yeah, this is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, these fireworks, especially these illegal ones that I've been seeing on TikTok, these motherfuckers is next level. This shit look like some shit they use in the Ukraine, man.
Yeah.
Like this dude lit some shit, that shit said, choo, 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 for probably almost 30 fucking seconds. And then one of them shot out and went into a house and lit it on fire. I was like, God damn. They didn't have these. Dog. Bro, they did not have these fireworks when I was a kid. They did not have them, dog. And if they did, they might have been in, I don't even know if they got, even the illegal fireworks back then are nothing like they are now, dog.
Yeah, technology advances.
This shit is wild, bro. Because, people come back with a big old box of fireworks from like Mexico or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like from like Nevada or somewhere else.
I will say, though, that all fireworks is dangerous. I was lighting a sparkler and dang near burnt my finger off. Because what happens, like fireworks are weird. Like those ones is getting like more advanced, and then they also getting like more dangerous because it's more defective ones. And then also they're getting cheaper. Like the ones at the regular fireworks stand are getting cheaper.
Yeah.
So with the sparkler, it has the little piece of thin paper, like it almost like feels like wrapping paper.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so I light the sparkler, and then the wrapping or the little paper part burns out. So it doesn't light the sparkler; the paper just burns out, and it's just like it's just like the sparkler. Yeah. So I'm lighting it more, and then the freaking like sparkling part shoots out from the side, and then it burns my finger, and I'm like, god dang. So it's just like. It's just all dangerous. Like there's no way to even escape it. Nigga burned up my hand off of a sparkler.
And the sparklers, we be seeing little kids like twirling them and shit. That's what the sparklers is for kids. Kids love it, but that'd be fucked up all of a sudden. The kids holding it and the sparkler explode.
That's what I'm saying.
You be like, what? Man, this shit is insane.
Imagine losing your life off a sparkler.
I'm going to tell you the worst day of work for me of all time. The worst day of work for me at all time is the 4th of July because I'm a fuel hauler. So I think you understand why I get nervous when I'm fucking driving that day.
Yeah. That nigga be like, you be looking around like that dog, huh?
Man, telling you. Yeah, and what's weird is I remember it was oh man, this had to be about 4 years ago. I was finishing up my day at work, and when you haul gasoline, it's literally it's way more dangerous when you're empty. When you unload the gas, now it's at its most dangerous because it's full of gas vapor. So it has a really high flash point. So when you're driving down the highway, you get enough fireworks going at your tank, it's not just going to blow you up. But let's say, for example, maybe the lid at the top got a little crack in it, whatever. That's literally a bomb. Like,
yeah,
that's a legit bomb. I was like, bro, I just want to finish my shift so I can get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And I think there's something to, what you're saying. And then especially like what I was talking about with the cheap fireworks, because what happened a couple times is you'll light something and then like that fuse would just go out and then you'd be like, dang, this thing ain't even working. And then all of a sudden you walk up on it and then it go like it, and then the actual fireworks start to happen. So sometimes like that fuse would just burn out and then like the firework will just lie dormant for like 10, 15 seconds. And then all of a sudden like the explosion happens. So you'll walk up on it thinking like, dang, this mug ain't even working. Let me light it again or let me do something. And then that mug just explode in your face or something like that. So yeah, it's I don't know. It's I guess it's a risk, but I was just thinking about that. Like, we risking a lot just for some stuff to explode, some colorful.
I think also in regards to a lot of people though, a lot of these accidents have a lot of negligence and alcohol involved. And I think that people get these fireworks and they just be so eager to light more and more and more of them. They got big boxes of illegal fireworks and they just lighten them up. Now they don't think it will ever be them on the news. They never think it's going to be them. And then they blow their hand off. Jason Pierre-Paul, defensive end in the NFL. He didn't think it would be him, and it blew his fucking hand off. He's only got 3 fingers on one hand.
Yeah,
it blew his fucking hands off.
Was he being reckless, or I don't remember the story, but I do remember.
It blew up. I guess it blew up in his hand. He had to be reckless, man. I'm sorry.
People be doing wild stuff like holding the fireworks and. Yeah, they be lighting it. They'll light the firework with a thing on their head, all kind of weird stuff.
There is no legal, let me be clear when I say this, there is no legal firework that will blow your hand off. There is not one legal firework that will blow your hand off. Only them illegal fireworks have the power to blow your hand off.
Some of them legal ones is
no.
Yeah, that mug could do some damage.
It could do some damage, but it's not going to blow your hand off. I'm being very specific. Like, they don't just go boom. I remember back in the day, the big thing to do, especially during the 4th, was they outlawed Piccolo Pete's for this reason. But we had these things
dangerous, dog.
Oh, man, we had Piccolo Pete's, and what you would do with those is you would basically duct tape them together, and you would get a hammer, and you would flatten them, right?
Yeah.
You would smash them together, and then what you do is you would stick them in a 2-liter bottle.
Yep.
And then you would tape it again, and then you would light the fuse and run. And that shit
would be a bomb.
It would blow up, but that shit would go over 100 feet in the sky.
Yeah.
Like, boom, and just go way up. And then,
bro, you think about like, just all the dumb stuff we was doing as kids, and thank God we still here, but all those same scenarios where like people losing hands and losing their lives and losing their eyes, we was in those same situations. We just lucked up and it just didn't happen to us.
I don't know about lucking up. I know that when we was fucking up, we was still safe about it. I know, like me, I was the type of nigga that if I jaywalked, I ran across the street. I didn't walk.
Nah, bro. It's people that were safe about it and still still die from those situations. A lot of it do. Obviously you can only be so safe with a bomb sitting in the middle of the street, like, but yeah.
Damn, man. Just be more careful, man. Please be more careful, y'all. I mean, the 4th of July obviously is not for another year, but some of you guys will be listening to this right now, and the next time you listen, you'll have a couple less fingers.
Dang.
This might be the last year that you got 10 fingers.
Yeah, I thought it was over for me, and that's my last name. So if I'm walking around like this, that's stupid.
Keith Fingerless.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That'd be fucked up, man. K-Fings.
How you supposed to jack off like this?
I don't know, man. It might feel different.
This is new.
Jacking off with nubs. Nubbing off.
That's crazy.
That's gotta suck, especially if that's your hand that you beat your meat with. God damn. Now you're sitting there with straight nubs.
Yeah.
All right, switching gears. Hunter Biden. He filmed himself smoking crack and driving 172 miles an hour. You can't make this shit up. The president's son was smoking crack again and riding around in his car. Crack pipe in high-speed saga. Hunter Biden's leaked photos from abandoned laptop raise questions. The leaked photos and files have thrust Hunter Biden back into the spotlight, leaving the public questioning his past and present choices. In a whirlwind of revelations, photos from Hunter Biden's abandoned laptop have surfaced, showcasing a series of daring and questionable actions, from smoking crack behind the wheel to hitting speeds of 172 miles per hour in a Porsche. The snapshots provide a glimpse into the turbulent life of President Trouble's son. Here it is. He's smiling while having a crack pipe. One set of images captures Biden with what appears to be a crack pipe while nonchalantly driving through a residential neighborhood in Arlington, Virginia. The incident took place on June 12, 2018, as Biden was rushing to catch a flight he had missed the day before. A daring act indeed, but it was just the beginning. And in another image from August, Hunter is seen going on a high-speed adventure, racing to Las Vegas at an astonishing 172 miles per hour. The dashboard snapshot of the Porsche speedometer was a testament to his reckless behind-the-wheel behavior. What's crazy about Hunter Biden is he is over the age of 50 years old, and he acts like he's 19.
Childish, huh?
Yeah, he's smoking crack, driving fast cars. He could have killed somebody. He should be in jail.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with Trump on much, but his critique of Hunter Biden is spot on.
Yeah.
Spot on. That's insane. He is suffering from president's son syndrome. This motherfucker can't get it together, man. And it's absolutely crazy that any other person that did what he did, and I find it kind of crazy that Biden himself, who was complicit in, the crack laws and the 94 crime bill, your son smokes crack now. Lock him up, buddy. You locked up a bunch of black people in the 80s and 90s for crack. Lock your son up.
Yeah.
Your son is free smoking crack. He should be in jail.
Mm-hmm.
He's driving 172 miles an hour, smoking crack with a big smile on his face. That's a crack smile. If there was a commercial for crack, it would be Hunter Biden. That's what it would be. It would be Hunter Biden. Hey, crack. It's what's for dinner.
That's so crazy. Like, it's just like, I wouldn't even call this white privilege. This is like American politics privilege.
100%.
Like, this is OD.
It's
like
next level, man.
Yeah, he haven't served a lick of time. This is crazy. And it's all kind of like, other stuff, that other type of pictures where he would like kids and all kind of stuff on there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild, man. I think that like he is a product of a father who didn't have a lot of time for him because his father was immersed in politics from the time he was born, and now he's still rebelling. He has never escaped the rebellious stage of his life.
Yeah.
And now because he's rich and his father is rich, he gets to smoke crack and do wild shit for the rest of his life.
He like you said, he acting now like a teenager.
You imagine Biden like trying to discipline his son? He'd be like, first of all, what's your name? I'm Hunter. I'm your son. What do you mean? Okay, son, you need to stop wearing dresses. He's like, I don't wear dresses. I smoke crack, Dad. That's right. You gotta stop smoking crack, son. You're like, God damn. He can't even remember to discipline his son, man. This motherfucker's trying to run for a second term.
Joe Biden?
Yeah.
That nigga need to sit down somewhere.
Bro, Democrats and Republicans are ruining this country. They need to get them out of. We need a third party candidate. Kennedy sounds like shit, but I'd rather have Kennedy as president.
Mm-hmm.
Because at this point, we're voting for motherfuckers that don't have our interests in mind. So if they say, "Oh wow," voting for a guy like Bernie Sanders or Kennedy is a waste of a vote because they won't be elected. No, it's not. I'd rather vote for them and have integrity within my vote than just say, you know what, I'm going to vote for the lesser of two evils. That's not it, man. I don't feel like that's a poor representation of what Americans are supposed to be able to do. We should be voting for motherfuckers we actually want to be the president.
Yeah, and then like you said, we have this two political parties. So there's never going to be an independent that wins. There's never going to be this Green Party or anybody else that wins. It's going to be a Democrat or a Republican.
I'm now a registered independent. I do not affiliate with the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers done lost their mind.
Yeah.
And when you say that, conservatives be like, that's right, come on over. I'm like, man, fuck y'all too.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all done all had a shot at this shit. Y'all done ruined it.
I ain't doing no better.
Y'all ain't doing nothing.
I'm voting for whoever trying to give black people reparations.
That's big facts.
Yeah.
And once again, I want to go down this wormhole again. I think we've already explained why we are pro reparations. You know, actually, it was funny that you mentioned that because today, the Tulsa Race Massacre survivors were denied reparations.
Yeah, it was like the last
three survivors.
Huh?
Three of them. So you can
they
literally
the thing.
It's sad that they're gonna die without getting justice.
It's crazy that they're still fighting for it. Over 100 years.
Over 100 years, and I think what they've determined is this: if we give these survivors reparations, that means we have to atone for all the other atrocities that we put Black Americans through. It's an admission of guilt. It's an admission of guilt, 100%. Like I want you guys to go to Google and this is not the only incident or the only instance or situation of racial mass violence. Look up summer of 1919. Look up the Red Summer of 1919. And there was in certain cities with, I can't remember the population number, there was racial mass violence all over America. And no one had to atone for it. There are literally black communities that got flooded with water. I don't know if you've seen that. Bro, it's wild. I was watching something, they were talking about black people got ran out of their community and then they ran a fucking lake over it. So there are literally places like it'll be like Bridgetown, New Jersey or whatever, and people don't know where that's at. It's because it literally got wiped off the map. And when you look underneath the lake, there are literal communities, but they got wiped out because they got ran out. So yeah, but yeah, it's wild, man.
Like Atlantis, huh?
Yeah, it's fucked up. So to make a,
it's actually I actually know what you're talking about. There's a it's in Atlanta. There's actually an episode of the TV show where they talk about that. Like there's a boat and they talk about all the weird and mysterious things that I don't know if it's related to people flooding the town, but I know that there was an episode where there's some part of Atlanta that's like supposedly like a bunch of people got flooded out or something like that.
I found it right here. 5 Black American towns hidden under lakes and ultimately from history books. Oscarville, Georgia, is a popular weekend destination known for fishing, boating, and so much more, including the eerie reputation that has deemed it as haunted in Georgia. But one lesser known fact is the lake sits on top of a black town, Oscarville. Oscarville was burnt down in 1912, and more than 1,000 residents were forced to flee following the allegations of rape. Right? Rob, it's always some bullshit allegation. Rob Edwards was arrested in September 1912 along the Ernest Knox and Oscar Daniel. Both teenagers were accused of raping and murdering a young white woman named May Crow. Edwards was dragged out of jail, beaten with a crowbar, and then lynched from a telephone pole. Daniel and Knox went to trial, and they were found guilty the same day. The boys were sentenced to death by hanging. After the trials, executions, white men known as night riders forced black families out of their homes by bringing their land of churches, schools. That's crazy. And it's Cowaliga, Benson, Alabama. Bro, this shit is wild. Like if you really dug into history, you would not invalidate what people are saying.
Yeah.
Because you would know what's going on. But I don't want to go on a tangent. This originally started as
Hunter Biden
doing crack activities.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it kind of stems off of, his father and and we got into this is why I don't like talking about politics. It just becomes very upsetting. Yeah, man.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't want to say my thoughts and prayers go out to Hunter Biden. He just needs to get his fucking shit together, and I think it might be too late. He might be a lifelong crack addict.
Yeah. Yep. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
And it it's like what do you call it? The sins of the father or something like that. I mentioned that in the Bible. That's kind of like what this looks like. Like his son is reaping the benefits of some of the bills and stuff like that. All them people that Joe Biden threw in prison, you gotta sit with this every day and look at your son all on the internet smoking crack and recording himself doing meth and all kind of weird stuff.
See, the difference too is the people you locked up, they came from poverty. So you locked up people who smoke crack, right? that were in a impoverished situation, but this is what crack looks like when it's rich. See, he doesn't have to worry about bills. He can smoke endless amounts of crack, and he doesn't have to worry about money. His dad's fucking rich, right? So he doesn't have to worry about that. All he worries about is like, oh man, damn it, where am I gonna get my crack today? You know, my new dealer is scared to sell me crack because I'm Joe Biden's son.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn, this dude literally had crack pipes, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's kind of ironic though when you are complicit in, you know, arresting tons of people for smoking crack, and now your son is a well-known crackhead.
Probably the most famous. Is he one of the most famous? Who's the most famous crackhead? I mean, like a modern day, not like.
Who is the most famous crackhead? I got an answer for you,
Who's that?
and I think you know who the fuck I'm about to say.
Like still living.
Yes,
Who was that?
Bobby Brown.
Bobby Brown. He's still doing drugs? I
I
thought
don't
he was
know if-
clean.
He's clean, but he.
I mean, currently,
look. He may be clean, but he's still looking a little crackish.
he's crack adjacent.
Yeah, it's crack adjacent. Definitely some crackiness cracking out. I think he smoked so much crack that it permanently ruined his jaw. Like his jaw.
His jaw was like kind of tilted.
His jaw's tilted. That's a lot of crack.
God dang.
You know that you smoked a lot of crack when your jaw has reached like a threshold. Like your jaw's like, look, I can't handle any more crack, buddy. You got now. This is how we are now. And then your whole jaw just slants.
That drug, man.
He
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, even Pusha T said, we gave him Bobby Brown jaw.
Yeah, yeah.
And at first I didn't know what he meant. And then I seen Bobby Brown like, yeah. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, that stuff is over here.
My God. I think that's what you would look like if you took a hit from Mike Tyson in the 90s.
Dang.
And your jaw never came back.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
That's crazy.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I don't know. This Hunter Biden thing is like I was saying, there was some pictures that came out of him, like, you know, like in a very vulnerable position with some young women, and they were talking about it. Somebody characterized it as like revenge porn. Well, I'm like, bro, that's illegal, dog.
Who,
like,
old Hunter?
Yeah, like whatever he's doing is illegal. It's not revenge porn.
I didn't even know. I forgot about that.
Yeah, there have been rumblings of like stuff like that, like
Really?
them hiding like pictures and stuff like that. But I don't know.
I think the government got rid of it.
Joe Biden, he's been trying to I don't know. He don't even mention it really. Like he don't really talk about his son like that.
No, because the son's a fuck up. But the thing about it, too, is I think Joe Biden has to stay in office in order to completely finish covering up all the bullshit his son did. And then once his term is over, then his son's going to go to jail.
I think, man, I don't know. At a certain point, like, you just got to let your son be your son. And I don't got no kids, so I can't really say. But I would imagine, like, you could try, very hard to, like, shelter your kids and, look out for them. But when they start doing illegal stuff, you just got to let them live.
Yeah. Can you imagine like a weather reporter, like, forecasting his drug addiction? They'd be like, right here, we got a strong chance of crack. Right here, strong chance of crack coming in from the Pacific Northwest. We got a lot of air coming here. This is where the pipe goes in the mouth. And right here from the Northeast, we got a strong chance of crack. Thunderstorms and a little bit of weed to take you down off of your crack binge. My God.
Got a strong chance of a nosebleed right here.
And right here from the Pacific Northwest, we have some booger sugar coming in.
Some booger
Right away. Oh, man. And during midday, we have a strong chance of some meth showers right over here.
Some meth showers. Some meth flurries.
Yeah, we got some meth flurries here. We have a fog warning. It's a crack smoke warning.
Yeah.
We advise those to not drive at night due to the strong cloud of crack smoke coming right off the street.
Yeah. You know what? Just the way that this looks, honestly, he's on his way to a grave, man. Like,
yes,
he's just spiraling. And, I don't know the history of him and his father's relationship, but he just looks like Charlamagne he was talking about Tekashi 6ix9ine or something. Somebody, I forget who. No, he's talking about Kanye West. And he was saying like Kanye looks like a person that is doesn't want to be here anymore. And I think that's kind of like what Hunter Biden looks like. You know, he just looked like a person that's on his way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think some people have made their bed. They this is what they want to do. But yeah, man, I think we have exhausted the crack stories from Mr. Hunter Biden.
Yeah.
I just be safe, man.
I tried to go to rehab and they said, what did they say?
No, that was Amy Winehouse.
Yeah, I said no.
Yeah. And it's sad that she made a song about it. She
That
ended
is very
up
sad.
dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. People like literally say what they feeling in their songs. Like Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse, people like this, they be telling us exactly what they going through, and then we just be slapping the songs.
Yeah, we think it's just like, kind of like hypotheticals.
Yeah.
It'll be a rock star like, I'm tired of smoking crack. The devil is on my back. You're like, this nigga really seen the devil while smoking crack. This is not a game.
I think the majority of people, it's just music. But I think it's like a small group of people that it really speaks to their soul. And that's why they be slapping it.
And they'll be like, that's right, man. I seen the devil last night, man.
Yeah.
Fuck,
but
man.
When I hear Amy Winehouse, personally, I didn't necessarily like the music, but like when I heard it, it was just music. Like I'm just singing along with it or whatever, and not necessarily connecting it to this real, authentic story. But some people, like you were just mentioning, some people really it resonate with them. Like, that's the music speaks to their soul.
Yeah, man. Yeah, there's some like old artists that would like say stuff like the way that they sang. They'd be like, especially in the 90s, there was like this group. Are you familiar with Creed?
Nuh-uh.
I think Creed had this song, with arms wide open, I see the sunlight. That's how they sang. But what's crazy is like those bands sometimes, like I think it's Creed and there's some other bands, I cannot remember. But they will say some stuff like, I seen you open the paper last night and I ran away. And you told my friends that I was gay with arms wide open. You be like, this guy, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on here?
Brokeback Mountain.
You made me sick. And you tried to give me some dick. But I don't swing that way, baby. I'm just rocking and rolling. Oh, man. That's good old cock and roll. All right, switching gears. Jonah Hill. Ex-girlfriend posts alleged text messages and blasts him as a misogynist. All right, let's make some sense of this, man, because Jonah Hill went from being everyone's darling to the next moment they trying to turn him into a misogynist, right? Let me preface what I'm about to say. I don't respect people that post screenshots of private conversations, because at that point you're not looking for a solution, you're looking for an audience. So I already discredit you from the very beginning, but I still hear you out to see if there's any validity to the story. But I just feel like everybody is quick to put someone on blast. No one wants to really have a solution. So let me get into it. Jonah Hill's alleged dirty laundry is getting aired out by his ex, who's posting what she claims are a ton of old texts from him and painting him as a toxic partner. Surf instructor Sarah Brady, former JH's former flame of about a year from back in 2021, is dragging the actor publicly on her Instagram account. And she's not holding anything back. In her reputation, somebody spelled this shit wrong. Repudiation, oh wow, of him as an alleged misogynist narcissist, as she puts it herself. Sarah has thrown up several text messages that she attributes to Jonah, and if they're to be believed, it appears he was often concerned / upset about her posting photos of herself. Now I'm going to read the text messages. She screenshotted him, right, and it says literally just say hello and leave the convo. Love how your therapist thinks I suck. Literally am the best boyfriend on earth. It sounds like that was satire, right? Next one. He wrote, plain and simple, if you need surfing with men, boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men, to model, to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, to post sexual pictures, friends with women who are in unstable places, and from your wild recent past beyond getting in a lunch or coffee or something respectful. I am not the right partner for you. If these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it. And there will be no hard feelings. These are my boundaries for a romantic relationship. My boundaries with you based on the ways these actions hurt our trust, right? I think that's a very sensible thing to write somebody. This personally, you gave her boundaries, what your boundaries were. And as we talked about before with Keke Palmer, I feel like her man did not properly set the boundaries of that relationship.
Yeah.
Right. But Jonah is saying like he said inappropriate relationships with surfers and boundaryless relationships or being around women who are unstable. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm going to keep it real. Why do you think a lot of couples hang out with couples? It's for a reason. It's because it's somebody around the same energy as you. You both want to be faithful. You both want to be in a relationship. You don't see couples hanging around a bunch of men and women that are chasing pussy. That's just not what you see because it doesn't mix. The energy does not mix. So I get why he said what he said. But he said, if that's not what you want, I support you. That gave her the ability to take it or leave it. So she's screenshotting something that actually is a pretty healthy boundary.
Yeah. It's almost like you snitching. It's like you ever like snitch like a teacher or something like that. Like you hear a kid snitching on somebody and be like, well, he didn't actually do nothing wrong. That's just kind of like the energy that she giving out. She trying to like paint him as a misogynist when he just like, it seems to me like creating a healthy boundary.
Man,
and the crazy part about it is like the type of woman that she is or the type of women that are coming to bat for her are like the people that are the boundary people. They're the people that are always like, yeah, we just need to create healthy boundaries in our relationship. And this is the only way that a relationship is going to work if we all have boundaries. I created boundaries with my parents and all. It's like.
And then he wrote something else here. Nor may I ever want that from my partner. And I reserve the right and I'm open about it. Let me know. We'll respect you either way, but these are my boundaries of this romantic relationship. Thanks. I'd love to know before the premiere so I'm not put in a position of publicly flaunting our love if my boundaries are going to be continued to be disrespected. That would be hurtful and triggering for me. This sounds like he's communicating his feelings.
Pretty healthy.
He's literally being dragged for fucking having boundaries. This is not right. We have to push back on something when it's not right. And I've been seeing some women, not all. It's been a lot of women saying like, this sounds just like he has boundaries. Like if this is a woman, a lot of you guys would respect it.
Yeah. It's just because he's a man.
Yeah. And then he also said, take some accountability and operate with respect. It's that simple because I'm tired of your attitude towards surf culture that contests and that place because I deserve respect, period. I've been more than patient. And then shit like this is still here. Fuck that contest, fuck that place, and fuck not respecting me always in every situation within surf culture, or you don't get it and you don't get me. It's hurtful and unacceptable to me. Get it? I don't know if you get it or care or give a shit about that shit more than me, even after Dr. Stern has said it loud and clear. And it says Dr. Stern is like a couples therapy, right? Couples therapy person. But hold on, before I let you jump in, the issue I have with this too is where's her messages? It's kind of funny how she's screenshotting him and she still doesn't look right. But where are your texts? Can you screenshot what you wrote? This is the problem I have with people who post screenshots is they only post what somebody else did out of context to make them look crazy, but they're not showing how they responded.
This is just overall childish.
It's childish, bro. It's fucking childish. There are so many people, bro. I'm just saying, I don't want to put it all on men, but as men, you need to do a better job of being able to discern if you have a decent woman or not. And don't just fucking go with the flow, man. I think he did a good job of standing up for himself, but evidently, I think he went too far. I think he not went too far in the situation, but I think he allowed that shit to drag on too long.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be like, once you disrespect my boundaries and I gave you that, I don't think I need to tell you 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Because me now I'm looking like, how do you call it? Now I'm looking like I'm begging you to respect me.
Mm-hmm.
And women will never respect a man that they feel pity for.
Mm-hmm.
If they feel pity for you, they don't respect you.
Mm-hmm.
So just let them go and move on.
Yeah. It seems like it looks like she's using all the right words: emotionally abusive,
right?
Gaslighting, manipulative, all this stuff. I think what it looks like, it's similar to the conversation we were having earlier, where your advice, or you didn't give me advice, but you were more so speaking like in post about how like you kind of dodged a bullet, in terms of not, trying to build a relationship with somebody that has like a very she's very revealing social media present. And I think that this is the same situation where Jonah Hill, he probably found somebody like pretty attractive. Mm-hmm. She's probably like super cool. They probably like hit it off. I don't know how they met in what capacity, but she probably been, they were only dating for like a year, and so they probably met like maybe somewhere around 2020. Mm-hmm. And she probably been surfing like, for the better part of her life. And she's, when you surfing, you obviously wearing bikinis or something, something to that effect. And so she's been doing all of this stuff before Jonah Hill came around. It seems like with Jonah Hill, what happened to him, he started dating this girl. He really liked her. They hit it off. And then he started to realize that he wasn't comfortable with the way she was moving in terms of what she was deeming as like surf culture. I don't know if that's like surf culture. I think that she just likes to wear very revealing clothes. She probably just likes to post pictures like that. And I think that he tried to change her in a sense, and it can't do that. Yeah, it doesn't work. She's been doing that before she met you. She gonna continue to do that after she met you. Yeah. So I think that from the jump, he probably should have known that. Like it's like when you might get into a relationship with like a stripper or something and like Zion Williamson and that Mariah Mills girl. Like she did porn before you, she gonna do porn after you. Like if you date a stripper, she been stripping before you. If she don't continue to strip, she probably turn that into an OnlyFans or something like that. Like that's just kind of the way she built. Like I don't see too many situations where guys have come in and infiltrated the woman and just kind of told them to stop doing something and they just quit cold turkey. Like that's just not how it happens. But I think on her end, so I think that's Jonah Hill's mistake, just trying to change the woman. Yeah, but like I second that what you're saying about the woman Sarah Brady. It's like it's never okay to post your conversation, especially you're posting your conversation without context. You clipping up, his post. And the crazy part about it is like it didn't really get the response she probably was looking for, because he sounded pretty sane to me. Yeah. He sounded like a person that knows himself. He knows that, and I think that's what's important with what he's saying. He knows what he can deal with. Like we were saying earlier with a guy like Adam 22, he live in a whole different world where he's okay with certain things. Jonah Hill, on the other hand, understands that these are my boundaries. These are the things that I'm okay with and that I'm comfortable with having in terms of my relationship. And I think that either of them should have cut it off way before. I think she should have been like woman enough to say like, hey, this is how I move. This is the culture that I was raised in. This is what I like to do. I like to walk around in my bikini. I like to, communicate with my friends in this way. And if you can't get with that, then like, we just got to cut it off.
But sometimes the issue is that sometimes people have inappropriate relationships prior to you meeting them, and they want to maintain those type of relationships afterwards, when in actuality it's like, yo, like that shit don't fly. That ain't all right.
But she don't even communicate what that is. She just throwing Jonah Hill under the bus. Like he just sound crazy.
Here's some more screenshots. And before I read this, I'll say, I've said this before. You'll never look good trying to make somebody else look bad. Mm-hmm. But she posted, I hope my ex has a daughter. Maybe she'll turn him into a real feminist, because the fact that he calls himself a feminist now is laughable. It's like, you just trying to destroy his image. You sound like you salty. Then she screenshot other texts. You're like, it's just constant and doesn't reflect where we're at or where you say you want to be. And then he's leaving a bunch of messages, which tells me he's being ignored, which is wild.
And
like,
he's still writing.
He's still writing,
right?
Which is like, bro, you don't ever want to be that dude. If you're not, if someone's not reciprocating. Because I'm not going to keep sending you message after message if you don't respond. Not to mention, we're not going to be having no argument over a text message. Mm-hmm. If you don't answer the phone, you can fuck off. Mm-hmm. We both grown adults. I'm not about to be arguing with a woman through a text feed. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. Anyways, he said, I respect your skill and your surfing. He said that. Mm-hmm. I respect how you want to present yourself. I respect that you're hot and beautiful. And I respect however you want to live. But I also respect myself. And what I'm interested in my own life, and what I led into my heart and inner circle. So celebrate yourself and your life however you please, and shine bright, but I don't want to have to deal with it. Mm-hmm. Like, bro, this just sounds like a human being pleading to you that, like, hey, I'm hurting, and I'm just trying to communicate this as clearly as possible. Mm-hmm. Man, it's wild how people are calling him an abuser.
That's not abusive, dog.
And people need to be, and they said, we
be throwing around very, like,
we gotta stop that shit.
Yeah, these are Andre 3000 had a word where he said, like, essentially he was saying nowadays we loosely throw around these, like, very important words like love and genius and rock star and, like, all these words that we're, like, just throwing on anybody. And now I think in 2023, we're doing that with all these, like, I would say, like, psychological terms that we just learned. We just learned the word boundary, like, last year. We just learned the word gaslight. Yeah, we just learned these words. And especially narcissists. Like, people are calling, like, everybody a narcissist. People are calling everybody toxic and manipulative.
Stop it.
It's like, nigga, you just learned this word 2 years ago. Stop acting like you really, like, understand all the nuances.
Love these new buzzwords.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just don't like that label that they're throwing on him, especially Jonah Hill. Like, I think outside of some of the did you get it?
I don't know.
Oh, outside of the body dysmorphia stuff, like, he hasn't really done anything. I mean, even that that was just his, like, that's his personal experience, you know, and him dealing with his own body image. But, like, he ain't done nothing wrong to nobody. Yeah. All he done is make, funny movies and stuff like that.
But as I said before, though, him having that body image, I think that also played a role into what happened. I think that, when you don't have a good image of yourself and you don't feel good about yourself, that can affect your relationship. So I'm sure that also played a role in what happened. Mm-hmm. I think that as a man, you have to have a certain type of acceptance of who you are as a man. When you do not accept that and you feel insecure about yourself, you can project that energy onto your partner. So what I'm not going to do is saying he is not without fault. And I bet you there was many times where she probably had to compensate for how much he didn't like himself, right? However, I don't think he was asking for a lot in that message, right? Yeah. I think that he just wanted to maintain the integrity of their relationship, and then it ended up ending.
That's how relationships are designed, right? Like, essentially there's two people that come together and they speak what they desire out of a relationship, and then it's up to them two to compromise on, what they will and will not do. And sometimes that could be you could just make it work, and sometimes that could be like the end of y'all relationship.
I think once you establish that you're not just attracted to a woman, attraction is just nothing. That attraction overall doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of it. But, once you determine that you really care about somebody or you like them or you can see something more serious than just like maybe a hookup or hanging out, you got to eventually have a conversation about, and set the expectations from the beginning. Because it's a lot of men and women that will, it's like the dude that wants to say all the right things at first, just to be in good graces. But eventually you're going to resort back to being yourself because that's who you really are.
Yeah.
Right. But what happens is you never set the foundation. You act like this person. And then once the shit's really happening, you haven't set any expectations. And when shit hits the fan, now you don't got a leg to stand on because no one has established anything.
Yeah.
That's like trying to build a house, right? That's like trying to build a house with only 50% of the material, right? It looks like a regular house from the outside, but you're missing all kinds of wood. You're missing all kinds of shit in that house. And then the house blows over and falls down. You can't say, oh, fuck, why'd the house fall down? Nigga, you only put 50% of the fucking house up. That's why.
Yeah. I think it's something to do with like these celebrities, right? Like, I don't know how old Jonah Hill is, probably late 30s. 39, yeah. It's something about like being a celebrity that like it almost feels like impossible to have like a healthy relationship.
Yeah, man.
Like, you see these guys like and females that are just 50 years old still on the dating scene. You'd be like, dang,
that's
dog,
crazy.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I think the goal ultimately is if like, and people will say like, oh, poor celebrity, but it's like you look at the what's her name, Lori Harvey's of the world, and you got people like, oh my God, like she's living her life, she's living the dream, but it's like, at what point are you looking for something like decent?
Yeah, you're truly trying to set it, and that especially her, like, and I don't know, like I guess her relationships didn't work out, but if you had the opportunity, and I don't know what these people are like on a personal level, excuse me, but you got, Future and Michael B. Jordan and Damson Idris and I think she's dating somebody else right now, but like you got all of these people like, and it just doesn't work. But the one thing is, you're the common denominator in all 100%. These relationships. So
I think at some point people accept, here's the thing I think a lot of people have that a lot of people do. And I would say more women do it, but men also do this, is when women exit a relationship and they get with somebody new, I think that a lot of women are attracted to new because new is interesting. New is... You're still trying to find this person out. There's a lot of mystery about this person. And women like mystery, right? Yeah. So they're getting to know the person, but then once they finally start to know the person and, the stories might get a little repetitive and they feel like they know you too much, that's when the attraction starts to drop. So I think that when a woman like Lori Harvey, who is beautiful, who can have Lori Harvey is fine enough to get any type of dude, black, white, Mexican, whoever it is. So she can literally... her love life literally could be like, I want new, I want mysterious. You know what I mean? If that's mystery, but if that's what she wants, go ahead. But I just don't know how that's gonna play out when you're like Madonna's age. It just looks weird at that because Madonna was dating some young dude. Yeah, and I'm like, God damn, she's like 63 or 64, and her man was like in his 20s, like 23 or some shit, 24. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. That's exactly what it looked like. But a lot of it is like when you really, like, have you ever heard somebody like complaining to you about or venting to you about their relationship or something that went wrong? It could be maybe even a friendship or something like that. And then you listening to it, but the whole time you thinking like, I hear what you're saying, but dog, you the one that's really in the wrong. Like, you the one that really did this, or you shouldn't have yelled at her. You shouldn't have did this. And that's kind of like, we talked about it before the podcast. Like, there's a version there's a friend that Sarah Brady has that's like, girl, you need to leave him. If he don't like how you posting these pictures, or if he don't do this, or if he don't like the way you communicate with men and when y'all surfing, or if he don't understand this surf culture, then you need to leave him. Instead of like looking at it objectively and thinking like, yo, what can you do to make this relationship better?
100%.
Like, how can you compromise? Like, maybe you don't want to compromise. I mean, you don't want to lose your soul in a relationship, but at the same time, like, you know, even if you like a solid individual, you don't need to carry all of your habits into a relationship, because some things that you do is not going to be conducive to your relationship. You know, some things that you need to do, like that could just help maintain your relationship. Because at the end of the day, like, you should have a safe space. That's the most detrimental part to all of this. You should have a safe space, like an emotionally safe space in terms of your relationship. But for you to screenshot that and put that up like however many years later,
that's wild.
Like, that's like, it's not the same, but that's low key like revenge porn, in my opinion.
Almost.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I'll say this: I don't care what the situation is, or, you know, man or woman. If a woman cheated on you or disrespected you and y'all broke up, just keep it to yourself, man. And, you know, talk to the people that are close around you to help you. You got the right to feel hurt by it. You got the right to feel angry, or you have the right to have emotions towards the situation. But don't put that girl on Front Street, because even if she did you wrong, there was a point in time that you loved that girl or you cared about her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I still think it's important. There's some shit that women have told me. They've told me some heavy shit, dude. Like heavy shit. And I never told a soul. Not even on this podcast. I ain't even mentioned it. I've had some women tell me some heavy, very personal shit about themselves. And even though we wasn't talking after that, they could be rest assured that I'll never talk bad about them ever. That's just how I am. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, why talk bad about somebody? That's kind of some bullshit. Once you're out of a situation, and it also makes you want to. It makes people become withdrawn when they get in relationships, when people they date just tell all they goddamn business. It's like, how much of myself should I give this person before they weaponize it against me?
Yeah.
Right?
That's what happens when you what I imagine is Sarah was sitting. She probably was just got done surfing. She probably done her usual, posted a little picture. She probably talked to the guys on the beach, and they had chumming it up and, you know, lingering around, like all the stuff that made Jonah Hill uncomfortable. And then she got back to her house or wherever she lives, in her apartment, and she was just sitting there thinking, and all those conversations she was having was just, it was right in the forefront of her mind.
Yeah, that's immaturity.
Yeah, and then she just decided to like go through, because to find that stuff, they was in a relationship in 2021, the article said. So to go back through all of those things, like it required some effort. It wasn't like you tweeted that. I mean, you had those text conversations yesterday. Like, these old text messages that you got to go through and scroll through and then do the screenshot. So, yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just checked out Madonna. She's 64. Her boyfriend is 24 years old.
Yeah.
And a boxer named Josh Potter. I think
He's a boxer?
Yeah, let me see here. Could be wrong. But that's what it said. And it's wild. She had a model boyfriend before that was even younger.
Really?
Yeah, Madonna. And Madonna looked like she done had all kind of surgery. Man, I couldn't do it, man. A little too old. They probably getting so much money. I'll take that back. Madonna, you got $1 million. I'll give you this dick anytime you want it. Anytime.
It's a good life.
Yeah, man. You get that a smooth $1 million. All I got to do is have sexual relations with Madonna.
Yeah, she'll take care of you too. It's one of those situations where you don't got as much money as her, so she knows she gonna take care of you for sure.
Yeah. She'd be like, I'll give you the money, but I need to be on the podcast. Like a virgin. Touch for the very first time.
Yeah, she can't be on this podcast.
Oh, man.
Yeah, our numbers will go crazy, though.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, remember she kissed Drake?
Oh, that was wild. I don't think Drake expected that.
Yeah, I don't think he liked that.
It was some old dry white lips.
Yeah. He kind of leaned forward like it was like it was sour.
Drake was like, nah.
You try to kiss me. I didn't expect it.
She tried to kiss me on my lips and I backed away. Now I'm left with the regrets from Madonna trying to kiss me on my lips. She put some little bit of tongue in my mouth. That was the worst I ever had.
Worst I ever had. Worst I ever had. Baby, you the worst.
You the fucking worst. Your lips is so dry. Lips is so dry.
That's funny, man.
Yo, Drake, man, we gonna wrap it up, but when Drake came out with that back in 2000, I was 8.
Yeah.
When Drake came out with that in 2008, bro, I was like, that was like the song of the whole year.
Yeah.
2008.
That was young Drake, too.
Yeah. Baby, you my everything. You all I ever wanted. We could do it real big. Bigger than you ever done it. You'll be up on everything. I'll be up. That early Drake was different, dude.
Yeah.
Because your brother put me up on Drake.
And he was singing, too. And she hold me down every time I give it up.
Bro.
The same thing.
If you discovered Drake at the beginning of his like launch off, that was like a whole different experience.
Yeah, and it's like his music was different. Like,
it was different.
I think now his music more so like blends in with the with the consensus. But back then he just had like his own little lane where he was singing and rapping
and that shit aged so beautifully. One of my favorite albums of his was the first one, So Far Gone. Mm-hmm. And what was the other one? So Far Gone and I forgot the other album, but it was this like the first two. Mm-hmm. And then it was like what was that song you had? Tell me what's really going on. Anything already?
What's happening?
That shit was hard.
Off of surgery, but now I'm back again.
Yeah, that shit was hard. That was
old. About my paper like I'm up and scratching wind.
That was like 2009 on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Young Money was hard.
Mm-hmm.
Nicki just popped up. I remember Desmond, he discovered Nicki early. Like she had like a video on there. He's like, oh, she finna blow. She dope. Desmond was like the top. Like he was up on every new song that came out.
Yeah. Desmond had a weird like he just like knew good music. I think like if Desmond could do anything he wanted to, but I think if he was more in tune with like music or like maybe just lived in LA,
be some A&R
he'd be an A&R manager just cuz like the music that he was like you would just, I mean, me being a younger brother, I would just get his iPod or whatever.
Yeah, it was all on there.
Yeah, and just be listening like, dang, what is this? And I remember even when my mom bought a Zoom from you and gave it to me as a present once, and I seen Drake on there. I was like, who is this? This nigga look kind of weird. Like, I got a big old head. Nigga, light-skinned nigga look weird. But I played the music, and I was like, yo, this low-key fire. And, years later, obviously, like, he's a top artist. But, yeah, Desmond definitely had, like, an ear. It was a song Desmond used to like. And it kind of had a semi-major buzz. Like, the music video made it on, like, 106 and Park and stuff like that. But it was weird because he would play it, like, he would slap it a lot. And then maybe 5 or 6 years later, like, everybody was playing it at school. And I was like, dang, like, he just had a unique ability to just, like, know good quality music, even if it wasn't like a famous artist. So
it's called Drake So Far Gone, and then
what is the first? I forget the name of the first album.
It's Drake So Far Gone, and then what's the other one? I'm looking right now. I think he took it off, but So Far Gone is the first one though, I think.
Yeah, that was a mixtape.
And then it's not called Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. That's just a song.
No. It's hold on.
I'm looking right now.
Thank Me Later.
Thank Me Later. That's it.
Yeah, I like that album too.
Yeah, that one go hard. But because I'm looking on here, I don't think it's on the
Yeah, Comeback Season is the mixtape you had on your thing.
Yeah, So Far Gone in 2009. Yeah, Thank Me Later is 2010 actually.
man.
So Far Gone, Thank Me Later. The mixtape is
June 2010 was in that one.
Hey yo, Take Care was a dope album. It's super underrated.
Yeah, I like Take Care.
Yeah, that was
Most people say Take Care is his his classic album.
I disagree. I say it's fucking Nothing Was the Same in 2013.
Nothing Was the Same. Was
that
hard.
shit was crazy. That was not. Hold on.
Nothing Was the Same had slaps on there.
Huh?
So Nothing Was the Same had slaps on there.
Yeah, but bro, I think the biggest one that wasn't considered an album was If You're Reading This It's Too Late. That shit was crazy.
Yeah, especially the way it dropped.
Oh my God.
It was just kind of like people start using the font.
Yeah, they did.
Remember, like niggas was typing their own stuff in that type of font.
Yeah, Drake had a stupid crazy run. If you look at like right here, because Views was cool. More Life was a weak album though.
I didn't care for More Life.
Huh?
So I didn't care for More Life.
Yeah, Views was a good ass album.
I like Views.
That was the Hotline Bling song was on there.
Yeah.
And then More Life was not good.
Views just had cool. Scorpion was cool. I think Scorpion just had hits. It had like major hits on there. Like probably like 2 or 3 number one hits on there.
He got like 4 duds in a row though. He got the Dark Lane demo tapes. I don't know what that is. And then there was
he said he got 4
Certified Lover Boy, not good. I didn't really like that album. Honestly, Nevermind, terrible album. Her Loss, good album.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah. Well, look here, folks. Enough of me and Keith. We're just running our mouths, and it's time for us to get some sleep, okay?
Yeah, I'm tired.
So look here, man. Before we leave, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube. Still kind of struggling over there, okay? Mm-hmm. So head on over there and head over to the shop to get some merch. We got some, and I'll just put this out there. We got some new merch that will be coming your way, okay? I don't like to speak on these things and not do it, but, we're working diligently to get that out. Mm-hmm. So head over to truckersmind.com and head over to ATMPOD on Cash App.
The Cash App.
For a friendly donation, if we have earned that.
Yeah.
Also head over to our YouTube at A Trucker's Mind. I already mentioned that. Mm-hmm. Or head over to Instagram.
Yeah.
At _Trucker's Mind _podcast.
And tell a friend, man.
Okay.
We've been earning a little bit of cash through the Spotify for podcasters. But it would be, I think ideally for the space, my initial goal is for this thing to be like self-sustaining, right? Mm-hmm. So that means like Wi-Fi, office rent.
100%.
That's pretty much it. We could pay for the Wi-Fi and office rent just for that. It would just be like, just a small mm-hmm. victory for us. We're like,
we will though.
It would just break even.
We'll be a lot better. We'll be a lot better with that. But I just have this very this strong confidence that this podcast will make a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So, and it's because we're decent podcasters. We try our best to deliver a decent product. So when you guys go to work on Monday mornings, you could, in transit, you could listen to us and, mm-hmm. Just, get some joy out of it, man. We want to be a bright spot during your week, man.
Yeah.
Because the week is long and, some of your other podcasts, they might flake on you, but we don't.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, if you made it to the end of this episode, we appreciate you. Thank you for listening to A Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Fings.
We're out of here.
Peace.